So hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do another ranking tier list today because the last one was so much fun, even though I did get dragged a little bit in the comments for not remembering characters, which look, I knew that was going to happen. When you do like videos like these, it's not live, so I can edit them. I could have googled characters and pretended I was know all of everything. My knowledge on The Walking Dead I would say is pretty fucking good. But yeah, I wanted to keep it real and keep it honest. And there are characters I just cannot fucking remember, or faces I'm vaguely familiar with. But anyway, that was such a fun video to do. I actually had fun recording it and just talking shit and going through the comments as well, hearing your guys' response to it, seeing how your lists differed from mine. It was a bunch of fun. So I'm going to do another one today, and this one is a ship tier list. So if ever I was going to ruffle feathers, this is going to fucking be it. As always, before I get started with the video, I'm just reminding you guys I have a Patreon where I do a whole bunch of different reactions to a whole bunch of different shows. There's a mixture of old and new, so there's like the original sound check. What the fuck is that? There's the original Star Trek, Buffy, The X-Files, there's Once Upon a Time, Teen Wolf. I'm also doing Moon Knight, which is one of the weirdest shows I've seen in a while. But I do a bunch of movies and live streams too. So the link to that's down below if you'd like to see more content. The link to my Twitter and my Instagram is also down below if you want to follow me. Let's go with the ship list. Okay, so obviously before I get started with this, our opinions are going to differ. That's fine. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the comments. I am interested to see, but please just don't get angry. Okay, again, this one seems to be... Can I make this smaller? I can, okay. I fucked up. This one seems to be laid out a bit more. I like how they have at least wording in the sides. So you have favorites, love, like, neutral, dislike, and worst. Who made this one? Is the name... Okay, we don't have a link to nothing, but we do have a name. Thank you for creating this list. It is no doubt gonna ruffle feathers. Okay. So first of all, we are starting with a hot take right out the fucking gate. I'm just going to go ahead and boink that right up into worst. Listen, when it comes to shows and like movies and shit, I am always Mrs. Ship what you want, ship what you like. It's make-believe, it's a made-up world. You know, if you like the idea of two characters together, go for it, ship them. Maggie and Negan is one I don't get. I thought people were trolling when they said they shipped them. Listen, there is a fucking list the length of a long thing as to reasons why they shouldn't be together. I mean, I get that they have a lot of energy together, they have a lot of chemistry, but in my opinion, not romantic chemistry. They're fantastic on screen together. The energy they give out, like Laurie and Jeffrey, kill it. They fucking kill it when it comes to portraying them on screen. But I don't see how the fuck they could be together romantically when he killed the father of her child and the love of her life. Yeah, they're getting a spin-off show. That doesn't mean they have to be having freaky deaky at all. I feel like they have nailed coexisting together. So they have that on lock. They figured out a way. I mean, we saw it in the most recent episode where Maggie says to Negan, like, look, you saved Herschel. I can whatever. You've done some good things. But again, that doesn't erase the bad things that he's done. I don't think just because he has some redeeming qualities or he has some characteristics that have changed and improved throughout the seasons, I don't think that means she's just going to be like, give me that Negan dick. So yeah, I don't get that. I'm interested to see their show though, their spin-off show, and what the fuck goes down there. That's going to be chaotic. Is that Rosita? Is that Rosita and Abe? Okay, look, I'm going to put them in neutral just for now. I might bump them up to like. I feel like their relationship was like a partnership of, it's the end of the world, it's the apocalypse, you get thrown in, two people get thrown in together that are similar, they're similar in personality and characteristics, and they just kind of vibed together. But I do think it was just because they were thrown together. Not by the show, but by the circumstances and the happenings of the universe. Maybe I'm just scarred from that scene where they were going at it and Eugene was watching. That imagery just stays with you. Abe and Sasha I actually liked. I feel like they were an unlikely pairing, but once they were put together, I don't know, I loved it. And then you have, dude, the fucking, it was either dream sequence or like hallucinations. You know, the scene where the two of them were together and they were speaking, even up to his last moment where he threw her the peace sign. That was their little thing. Such a small gesture, such a small thing, but oh, I really did like them. Oh my god, you guys are coming out the fucking gate with hot takes in this list. I'm too high up. Hang on, we'll come down a bit. Gotta lower myself into the depths of strange fucking ships in a fandom. Beth and Daryl. Whoa, you're taking your spot right there. You're taking it right there next to Maggie and Negan. I know a lot of people shipped them. Still is one of my favourite episodes of all time, and I have caught a lot of shit for that in the past. A lot of people didn't like it. They said it was slow, it was bottled, whatever. I liked how static and stationary it was in everything except for character driving and character development. You have these two people who have nothing in common, who should fucking hate each other, trying to coexist and trying to just muddle through the episode and get on with what they had just went through, the fucking traumatic experience of what just happened to them. You got Daryl, who was always like kid brother following Merle around, and then you have Beth, who was always like kid sister following Maggie around, trying to just navigate life. So you got the two younger siblings of their families. I think Beth had like younger siblings younger than her, but in the grand scheme of things, they both kind of looked up to their older sibling and just followed them. And now you have them without their older siblings thrown into this world with a complete stranger who could not be more different from you. It's my favourite episode. And then you have the arc kind of closing with him carrying her body out. Not in that episode, I know, that was in a later one. But their storyline, I loved it. I never saw it as romantic. I think she was like light years too young. I guess, I don't know, in a way I guess I could see why you would think it's romantic in ways, or why you would latch onto it and ship it. But in hindsight, looking back on it, she was too fucking young for him. And there was no reason for that to ever be romantic. Just saying. Although The Walking Dead does have a way of putting in really odd moments of tension between characters, where it's almost like the writers are like throwing out a line to see if people will pick up on it and want to ship it. They've done that a lot in the past, and I feel like there definitely was moments like that between Daryl and Beth, but I did not ship them. I don't think they should have ever been. No. Who the fuck is that? Is that Rick and Beth? Is this fucking Rick and Beth? What the fuck? No comments on this one. You're just going into worst. That's weird. I don't think I've ever heard of people shipping that. Enid and Coral. Yeah, I'm going to put that up in the like category, because I think Enid and Coral were so well matched in, I don't know, in everything, in vibe, in attitude. The fact that they were both very similar situations, similar ages. They'd experienced the same kind of thing, and they'd finally found someone their age that they could relate to, that they could be like, hey, how fucked is all of this? Am I right? I liked it, and it was so cute. And that scene where they're wasn't it they were rollerblading or something down a road, there was just a lot of normal teen date moments with them that I fucking loved. I loved it. Alright, Enid and Alden. Again, this was one that I was kind of, look, I'll put it in like neutral. I don't really care either way about them as a couple. I feel like, I mean, there was a time jump, right? So there was an age progression. But I just feel like looking at them, I feel like she was way too fucking young for him. I know that for a while people shipped Alden with Maggie because, you know, he came in as a saviour, and then there was that whole redemption arc with him. That, yeah. Again, it's one of those, like, it kind of happened and it was all right. But I wasn't, like, dying at the thoughts of them being together, and I didn't hate it either. That's the fucking definition of neutral. Maggie and Alden. They were never actually together. People did ship them. I'm going to put it in dislike. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. I could see why people would ship them. He did kind of have little doe eyes for her for a while. You know what I mean? He was flashing her the flirty peepers for a while. I get that, but yeah. Let's just put the king and queen of romantic relationships right up into favourites. Everything about their relationship, from how they got together, how they first hooked up, the scene in the pharmacy, oh my god, followed throughout with the Terminus storyline. It was just, I think their love story, and then with it being so tragic as well, it's one of those epic loves, you know what I mean, where you would follow the other person to the ends of the earth. You would move everything that you possibly can. You would fist fight a wall to get to them. The scene where the governor has them, doesn't Glenn go absolutely? He just goes dark side and breaks a fucking chair. Whoa. There was just moments where the other person was showing their love language without it even necessarily being a romantic scene. The love they had for each other was so obvious and prevalent throughout the entire show. I adored it. Down to the, you know, Maggie, I'll find you in the lineup. And I think that being the last, like, resounding image that you have of them as a couple, it is really sad, it's fucked up, but it just, like, solidifies that their love is now encapsulated forever in their storyline. The only way they could like ruin it or taint it would be by putting her with Negan. I think that's part of the reason why as well I fucking hate the idea of Negan and Maggie. I'm like, it doesn't make no goddamn sense. From a make-believe TV point of view, okay, put it together for the ratings and the drama and to get viewers talking about your show. But from a realistic, if you look at the show from a realism point of view, you're Maggie, just pretend. You're Maggie fucking Ree. You've had a life and a half, you must be tired. Have a coffee and a nap. Or the reverse, because that's a bit counterproductive. You're raising your kid, single mother, you're raising your kid, your husband's dead, and then the killer of your husband is there. He's just there. It never once pops into your head, let's fuck, you and I, let's do it. It never pops into your head. He killed your husband. Anytime you were shagging or kissing, you'd pull back and look up. Now listen, Jeffrey is a handsome man, so I understand why people are shipping him with everyone. I get it. But Jeffrey isn't Negan. You know, they're different people. They're the same, but they're different. And then you people going, they have undeniable chemistry. I ship it. And it's like, okay, maybe, I think a lot of people are misreading on-screen chemistry, like genuine, the fire between two characters that are so, they're such big characters. They're so charismatic and full of like backstory. They're really rich characters. And then you put two of them together, it's going to be energetic. It's going to be insane. You're going to feel the energy off the screen, the tension. Some people can misread that as sexual tension. And I don't like telling people how to interpret things. If you interpret it as sexual, that's fine. I just can't understand how people do. And if you do, it's just shitting on Glenn's memory. Anyway, here's a spicy one. Carol and Daryl. I'm going to just put them... I'm torn between love and like. They're two characters, I'll leave them in love. They're two characters that are very similar kind of outlooks on life, very similar backgrounds. They both come from traumatic relationships. Daryl with his family, Carol with Ed, the ex. They both kind of have the chameleon aspect of life down. They both know when they need to blend, when they need to pretend and put on a front to blend into wherever they are. I feel like they are two characters who understand each other more than almost anybody on the show. I did ship them for a while, but then it just didn't happen. We're 11 seasons in, and I'm like, well, and you got to factor in the time jumps too. So I always took it as, well, if they were going to get together, they probably would have been together by now. If it did happen, I wouldn't hate the idea, although I do have a ship with Daryl that I really would love to see go canon, that I adore. But I don't hate it. I actually really like it. I did ship it at a point, but I just feel like they're such different people now, especially with the life experience they've gained in the apocalypse. I feel like they are just two people who love each other so much and they got each other's backs. If you read it as romantic, then that's totally fine. Maybe there's like unrequited feelings, or not unrequited, unspoken feelings. We have had moments where they've opened up to each other and no one else about things. So I do feel like they have that deeper level between them, the deeper bond between them. If you read it as romantic, that's grand. If you don't, that's also fine. I know people hate the ship. I don't hate it, but I do think it would have happened by now if it was gonna, so I've kind of moved on. Oh, up you go. Up, up. This is one of my favourite ships ever. But it does kind of make me sad in a way that like everything happened the way it did with Carol and Zeke. Because I feel like they were really well suited for each other. They called each other out on their bullshit. They saw past all of the walls the other one built up. I love them. I loved them together. I love them together. Now whenever you see them interact, I'm like, oh my god, just fucking kiss. That being said, everything they went through was so traumatic and so fucked up. I completely understand why maybe they just, it was too much and that chapter of their life came to an end. But I do want to see them get back together. I fully believe, quoting Riverdale, I believe they are endgame. Oh. I do like that the love is still there, and you can see that the love was never lost between them. It just changed. But like relationships change and grow all the time. You can fall apart, but you can fall back together just as easy. And that is what I am holding out hope for. Even though with this new Daryl and Carol spin-off show, I'm like, are they going to get like a sidecar and bring Zeke? Can they can you fit 3 people on a motorbike? Can they all just get on Daryl's bike and ride off into the sunset? I am putting Connie and Daryl parallel with the love. I would say it would be one of my more favourite ships. But they're not necessarily... I don't know. I would say they're not like necessarily endgame for me. But I feel like Daryl... It kind of makes me sad. He's my favourite character. And it does make me sad that people have reduced him to just shipping. You know, I'm not talking about this list. I'm just talking about in general. Most of the time when Daryl's name is brought up, it's in regards to a ship. It's in regards to like something like that. And I'm like... After 11 seasons, we've never seen my man in a relationship. I get it. I get people want that. They want it. Well, actually, that's a lie. We saw him with fucking Leah. That was so brief. But I don't know. Connie just... she brings out something different in him. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like because it's still so new... I mean, she's been in the show, what, 2 or 3 seasons? I haven't reached the point of if it was going to happen, it would have happened by now. I haven't reached that yet. There's been playful, flirtatious moments. There's been sweet, deep moments. I mean, he went to shit and tried to dig through the rubble with his bare hands when she went missing in the cave. And then, I don't know, there's been little moments like, wasn't it at the fair recently, where Carol kind of playfully said like, whoa, why don't you ask her to dance, or why don't you ask her out, or something. And then similarly, in a more recent episode, Daryl and Carol arranged to meet up, and then one of them was like, it's a date, and I was like, oh my god, the shipper's heads are going to explode. It's a very delicate situation involving, well, I guess it does revolve him. It goes around and around and around. People be spitting out insults right, left and centre when it comes to shipping. It's a revolving door of hostility. And you're shooting yourself in the foot no matter what you say, because that's why I'm putting them both level. I think both ships are equally valid. I personally, at this point in season 11, I love the idea of Connie and Daryl getting together. That's what I love. Whenever I see Daryl and Connie, I'm just like, wow, that lights up my heart. I think it's because, like, now that I've seen Carol with Ezekiel, I'm like, god damn, that woman belongs with him. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I prefer Connie and Daryl as a couple. Daryl and Michelle? People ship this? I mean, look, I'll put it in neutral for the simple fact of, 1, I didn't know it existed, the ship. 2, they're quite similar. I feel like they have a good basis for a relationship. I just don't think Daryl would ever try and get with his best friend's wife. He's no Shane. I don't think he'd get with Michonne. I think that they're very similar, and they both, again, they have that kind of deep bond that they can relate to on a very, very deep, like, personal level. Nobody misses Rick the way Daryl and Michonne miss Rick. I don't think anybody can understand that feeling of loss more than Michonne and Daryl. So I think, yeah, they have a bond there for sure. But I don't think they'd get together. I don't think Daryl would, like, disrespect the friendship code. You know, you don't shag your friends' partners or their exes. You just don't do it. Actually, I'm going to move it down to dislike. We're putting it down to dislike. Yeah. Should I move them up to neutral? Because I don't really have any... What? Laurie and Rick. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and smack them in dislike. Okay? Laurie was just... I don't know. She was part of the original cast. We were introduced to the show with her. Her and Rick and the whole, you know, finding each other and getting back together, whatever. But she was just... As a character, I get that she was, like, realistic in the fact of... She wasn't exactly necessarily made for this world. She made mistakes. But, like... I understand she thought Rick was dead. I get that because Shane told her that. But then you fuck... I'm trying to phrase it more delicately. You have a passionate rumble in the forest. Rumble? Passionate rumble in the forest. Sounds like something entirely different. Did you have a dodgy burrito, Laurie? She had a passionate rumble. Rumble? Again, what is the word I'm looking for? Tumble. She was tumbling around the forest with Shane. And then again, I guess it was like survivor's instinct where she was like, I'm alone now in this new apocalypse. Jesus. I should just give up. I should just give it all up. Maybe it was like a survival thing where she had Carl and she was like, I have a kid. I'm in the apocalypse now. My husband's dead. I know Shane. I know he's a relatively good guy. I can trust him. Maybe I simply am his wife now. I will just latch on to him and everything will be okay. I can kind of get the thought process behind it. But their relationship in general, I don't know. There was just so much between Rick and Laurie that just didn't necessarily click for me. I mean, they did have some... Okay, we'll put it up in neutral, actually, because I don't hate it. It did have some really nice moments, like when he was seeing her ghostly figure sprinting around the prison in her little fucking silk nightdress. Again, I think I'm dealing with the disconnect. I think I'm dealing with it was so long ago, it was so many seasons ago, that now I'm like, I simply don't care for it anymore because I've seen the story progress. Now that I've seen him with Michonne, personally, I think he's a better match for Michonne. They just gel together easier. Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. Who's this? Oh my god, that's the girl. Okay, yeah, I'm just putting that in dislike. Again, like, you can do it in soap operas, you can do it in dramas. I just feel like in The Walking Dead, for a while they kind of toyed around with just putting random people together, and it was like, are you trying to throw, what is it saying? You throw the spaghetti at the wall and you see if it'll stick, and if it does, then it's cooked or something. I don't think that's it. I just didn't like them as a couple. I think it was too brief. It was too brief, it was too sudden, and I was just not there. These two motherfuckers. These two are absolute golden tier for me. From when they first met each other, the distrust, the hesitation or hesitancy. Watching them grow together, to the little flirty moments, and then how she was just kind of absorbed into the Grimes family. It was just an unspoken thing, you know what I'm saying? And then you had the first kiss, the first kind of big milestone relationship marks. And I honestly think, maybe with the exception of the Negan lineup, her response to the bridge being blown up and watching Rick die was one of the most soul-crushing moments of the show. I was right there with her. I believed every fucking tear, every scream. I loved them as a couple. I love them as a couple. I do hope that they find a way to bring them back. I know there's the Rick movies, but like, she left the show to go find him. You gotta end the show with her coming back, having found him, or something. Or give us a bit of a hint. Have Denai fucking film a little bit on her phone and be like, oh my god, it's Michonne. I found him. And put it in the after credits of the finale. Give me something. Give me fucking something. You're gonna have the two major characters of the show, or I guess they were the two major characters because they're not on the show anymore. But you're gonna have the power couple of the show just both disappear. We better hear from them again. I'm putting them in worst. That's Shane and Laurie. I'm putting them in worst because I kind of feel like they deserve each other. There was a lot of super questionable moments. Yeah, I did not like them. I just... Nah. Who's this? Is that Eric and Aaron? Oh, I'm putting them up to love. What is happening? Go to the back of the list. I'm probably mistaken, right? Am I mistaken? They were one of the first proper gay representation ships that we got on the show that was canon. It wasn't hinted at. It wasn't like subtle. It was like, no, they're together. They're together and they're dating and they're going fucking strong. They're collecting license plates. They love each other. I love it. And I love that we did get to see a little bit of conflict where it was like they were having a discussion about how they progress, how they go further with the plans and with everything that was going on. And you could see them kind of struggling with navigating this new world. It is something that really bothers me on shows where you have the kill your gays trope. So it's like, there's so many shows I can think of. I'm not going to drop names, but there's so many shows I can think of where either somebody will come out as like, gay or bi or ace or whatever the fuck you come out as. Somebody will come out as something and then they promptly die. Or they're written off, or they leave, or they do something. Why, whenever there's suffering in a relationship, like, it's like, just let them fucking be happy. Although, to be fair, The Walking Dead is known for ripping couples apart. No matter what kind of couple you are, you're probably going to end in heartbreak. It's the apocalypse. And it's love. Generally ends in heartbreak. But yeah, I loved them as a couple. I thought they were... Aaron hasn't got with anyone since then, has he? He's been single. He's really focused on raising Gracie. I hope he finds love again. He deserves it. Wait, was there something between him and Jesus? Aha! They're literally the next fucking one on the list. Alright, we're putting them up to like. I don't think they ever went canon, but like, it was definitely... Lads, will you just fucking put them on the list, please? I don't think Aaron and Jesus ever went canon. There was no kiss, there was no nothing. But like, yeah, I did like the idea. I feel like Jesus was an underutilized character. I'm just gonna fucking say it. I loved him. We should have saw more of him. We should have seen a whole multitude of things regarding his character. I could have seen them proper going steady. I could have seen that working. Okay, yeah, no. We're just boing right down at the bottom. Who in the love of fuck was shipping a teenage Coral with Negan? Who was doing it? Who was doing it? I know a lot of people were saying that like there was somewhat of a father-son dynamic for a while. There was like, yeah, Negan always had a soft spot for Coral. But, oh sweet Jesus... To make that connection romantic is so twisted, I don't even know what to say. Yeah, guys, wasn't it so romantic when Negan fucking held him down and nearly cut his arm off had Shiva not come in and saved the day? Was that scene? That was the scene that Shiva came in, wasn't it? All I remember from that scene, to be honest, is the behind the scenes scene with the dude in the green morph suit just fucking into the scene. We're just gonna leave it at that and move on. Andrea and Michonne. I mean, I guess I'll put you in neutral. I'm not the biggest fan of Andrea. I can understand why people would ship them. You know, they're out on the road together for a long time, and she really, they looked after each other. Until Andrea fucking bailed on her for the goddamn governor. Don't think I ever shipped that personally, but I'll put it in neutral because I can see why people would. Rosita and Tara. Well, I'll put them in neutral as well, because I don't think that wasn't requited, was it? It wasn't like a two-way thing. Rosita didn't feel that way about her. I do, actually, now that's brought up, I do vaguely remember Tara having a thing for Rosita. I can totally see why people would ship it. So it's a neutral. I'm gonna put them in like, simply because like I don't, I always want to put the newest one at the back of the list, because it just makes sense throughout the video. I'm trying to keep a little bit of order. Magna and Yumiko, I like it. I don't necessarily like how it was shown to us because we didn't get to experience a lot of it. Now we did get the backstory that she was her lawyer, they met and they fell in love and they started a romantic relationship. What I really like and respect about them is they're kind of similar to Carol and Ezekiel in the way of like, they both recognise that people change and life changes, but you can retain the love that you have in you for a person. I feel like they've navigated that quite well. I feel like the love, like, it's still there. It's just, this is... They are probably one of the most maturest couples. Kind of, again, similar to like Carol and Zeke, because they're both like, there's so much going on in our universe right now. There's so much happening that we got to deal with. Maybe it's not the time for us. So I really like them. I hope they can find their way back to each other. I hope things settle enough for them to just rekindle what they had. I'm going to go ahead and put Negan and Alpha in neutral. Do you know what? I might have even bumped them up to like. It's not, it feels wrong putting them on the same list. Look at the like list. It just does not feel real putting them up there. It was so weird. It was so batshit. We got the weird naked scene with the two of them making out in the middle of nowhere. Lads, I was not ready for half of the shit that happened there. I like how it factored into the storyline. Do I actually ship them? No. But it was just so weird and they were so mismatched. They're both too similar. It's like you can't put two people that are that similar into a relationship. It ain't gonna work. Now I know it was part of a bigger plan. Negan was playing her. Whatever the fuck. I still think that's one of the wildest things to ever happen to this day. Holy fucking shit. And I feel like it, I don't know, it could have worked. It should have worked, but it just didn't. It was so weird. It felt like you were accidentally like watching something super explicit. You were watching some like hardcore porn out in public when that nude scene came on, even though it wasn't that extreme. But it was just like, what are you doing? I don't ship them, but my god, that shit was insane. And then finally we have Rick and Daryl. I mean, I'm gonna put them in neutral. I completely understand why people ship them. It's a trope as old as time. The two main best friends that are like besties will go to the ends of the earth, will nurse each other when they're sick. I understand why people ship that kind of dynamic. Completely get it. There was a long time that I thought Daryl could be gay, and I know this is a really commonly held belief. Like the first, I don't know how many seasons of the show where he doesn't really get with anyone, he just doesn't really show much interest. I thought he could have been either gay or ace. And then being somebody who grew up with his kind of background, I don't think his family, or Merle, would have been all too accepting of a little gay Daryl. So I completely see why he would be so deep in the closet that my guy would just, you know, he'd be so lost in there. So I thought that for a while, and then I thought maybe Ace, maybe he just doesn't have any romantic attraction to people. Maybe it's just not there, or maybe it's conditional. Maybe there needs to be certain things met before you can feel it. So I totally get why people would ship him with Rick. I completely do, but I personally don't. I think that they are just platonic soulmates. I think they are absolute best friends, and I can't wait to see them reunite, because they better reunite. So that is my list. It ended up pretty much exactly as I thought it was going to be. It brought up some blasts from the past, like I completely forgot about. I'd forgotten about this. I didn't even know this was a fucking thing. Or this, for that matter. So that's my list. I feel wrong. No, I was going to move them, but no, I think I'll leave them in like, I will leave them there. So yeah, that's my list for the ship. I was going to call it the Ship Awards. That's so formal. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for attending the Ship Awards. Make sure you let me know what you think down below. I can't wait to be torn to pieces in the comments, because I can feel it about to happen. That's okay, I welcome it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all soon. Kind of look like I'm dressed for a Ship Awards. This is just a top. It looks like a dress or a gown. It's just a top. It's just a top that I thought was quite cool, and now I'm thinking it's too fancy.